For the past decades, the relationship between South Korea and Japan went through ups and downs, but the two Asian neighbors managed to keep close ties, at least on the economic side, while haggling over their shared history. But Tokyo's unprecedented and unilateral export restrictions against Seoul last year took the two neighbors to a novel situation. This week, North Korea Now will look into the effect of the exceptional trade disputes between the two countries and prospects for the bilateral relationship. On July 1st last year, Japan announced that it will regulate South Korea-bound exports of three key industrial materials: photoresist etching gas and fluorinated polyimide, which are critical for the chip and display industries, the backbone of South Korea. And it removed South Korea from its list of trusted trade partners the following month. For some items, more than 90% of South Korea's demand relied on Japanese products. The trade dispute with Japan, however, did help South Korea reduce its reliance on Japanese materials by diversifying its trade portfolio and developing homegrown technologies. According to the Korea International Trade Association, or KITA, Seoul's import of hydrogen fluoride from Japan over the January-May period plunged 86% on year. As a result, Japan only accounted for 12% of South Korea's total import of the material, down from 44% posted last year. Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix, Seoul's two chip makers, are planning to use hydrogen fluoride developed by a local chemical firm SK Materials within this year, which will further reduce their dependence on Japanese products. South Korea has allocated 2.1 trillion won, or $1.74 billion in state budget this year as well, to promote the growth of the material, parts, and equipment industries in response to the trade war. The trade war thus has been causing more damage to Tokyo's exports rather than the other way around. South Korea's current account deficit in trade with Japan reached $18.8 billion in 2019, marking the lowest level in 5 years. The ongoing boycott of Japanese goods also dealt a harsh blow to demand for Japanese beer and consumer items here. Japanese automakers are suffering an extended slump in South Korea as well. Honda's vehicle sales here sank by 73% in the first 5 months of the year from a year earlier. Nissan Motor also decided to pull out from South Korea 16 years after its landing here, amid an extended slump with weak sales caused by lingering anti-Japan sentiment and the new coronavirus outbreak. As we have seen earlier, there are no winners or losers from this disarray at the moment. For South Korea, Tokyo's move was widely seen as a retaliation for a verdict made by Seoul's highest court in 2018 that ordered Japanese firms to compensate Korean victims for their forced labor during its 1910 to 1945 colonial rule. Early in June, Seoul requested the WTO to open a dispute settlement panel to look into Japan's export curbs, months after dropping the suit in a goodwill gesture. A local court also decided to begin a legal procedure that could lead to liquidating seized assets of a Japanese firm that has ignored the ruling to compensate Korean victims of Japan's wartime forced labor. If there is no response from the Japanese side by August, the court can then issue an order to sell off the seized assets. This may lead to another round of disputes between the two Asian neighbors. Therefore, some experts say that South Korea and Japan need to avoid an all-out collision by seeking a compromise before the August deadline. What are your thoughts on this? Please let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching North Korea Now.